They never stopped loving you. They just had to become the person worthy of arriving. You thought they forgot, but they were gathering proof that love still lives. Every delay was proof that their entrance would split your soul open with truth. They arrive bruised, but burning for you. Destiny doesn't knock, it breaks doors. God hid them in the shadows, so your love would not be counterfeited. You weren't waiting. You were being preserved for a moment only heaven could trigger. They saw your name in a dream. That's when they started running home. You're not crazy. You felt them arrive before they even knew they left. You won't recognize them until they speak the sentence your soul has been whispering. This love comes limping, not loud. But it's the only kind that will stay. The person arriving is not new. They are the healed version of the one who broke you. What you prayed for is about to show up, dressed as a person you almost gave up on. Heaven held them back so their love wouldn't destroy you prematurely. You left the door open without knowing it. They're walking through now. When they say your name, your body will remember why you never let go. The one returning isn't who left. Time has humbled them into truth. Someone is arriving to break your silence, not your spirit. The reason you feel restless tonight is because their soul just touched yours. You will know it's them, because peace will fill the spaces pain once lived. They were warned. Love you right or lose you forever. They're choosing right. They thought they could live without you. They were wrong. God didn't let them forget, even when they begged to. The person arriving knows your hidden name, the one only God calls you. There's someone who turned back the moment they felt you give up. You were their peace before you ever spoke. That's what's pulling them back. Their arrival won't be loud, but it will be holy. This love is not sudden. It's been circling lifetimes to find you again. The silence you're in is sacred. It's the pause before their knock. They almost married comfort, but your memory was louder. You won't have to ask if it's real this time. It will wreck your doubts. They didn't change for you. They changed because of the way you loved. God separated you to sanctify what's about to reunite. The delay was divine. Had they arrived earlier, they'd have destroyed you. You thought it was over. That was just the intermission before the miracle. They were asleep to your worth. But heaven just woke them up. You are not hard to love. You were just waiting for someone ready. Their heart broke when they realized you were irreplaceable. God whispered your name while they were crying. That's what made them rise. You were the promise. They were the wanderer. Now, destiny calls them home. Every detour broke them until they were tender enough to choose love. They'll say your name like a prayer, not a possession. You never stopped being the home they were too afraid to enter. They're not coming back the same. This time, they come with fire and tears. They remembered what you forgot, how safe love once felt. You were the warning they didn't listen to. Now you're the miracle they're chasing. This person is arriving late, but in God's time, nothing is delayed. They thought your silence meant apathy, but now they see it was sacred protection. Their absence grew roots. Their return will shake every foundation. You don't need to find them. They're already 3 steps from your door. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. They confessed your name in a whisper last night. Heaven heard. That's why everything shifted today. You are the ache they couldn't numb. That ache is now their compass. God buried their pride. What rises now is someone desperate to love you right. They couldn't outrun the guilt. Love made a way back through their ruin. You were never forgotten, just hidden, so they'd know what was holy when they returned. You thought the story ended, but the author just turned the page. The person arriving knows your scars. They've seen them in their dreams. You are not being haunted. You are being remembered. They are walking toward you barefoot, stripped of ego and burning with regret. You will open the door and see your answered prayer standing in flesh. They thought they had time, but God just gave them a deadline. The winds are carrying your name. That's why they haven't been able to sleep. They're not coming with flowers. They're coming with truth and trembling. This is not a reunion. It's resurrection. You weren't abandoned. You were appointed. They heard your silence, louder than your voice ever could have screamed. God didn't just send them back. He rewrote their heart on the way. You are the prophecy they didn't believe until you became the storm. The one who arrives will shatter your loneliness without saying a word. They stopped chasing the world when they realized the world was you. You were the miracle they mistook for a moment. They will come to you barefoot in spirit, covered in dust, but divine. They found pieces of you in places you've never even been. The war they fought wasn't against people. It was against forgetting you. You were always the destination. They just took the long road home. Someone's been weeping where they once mocked. That's why redemption is near. They laughed at your loyalty. Now it's the only thing they pray for. The soul arriving remembers every detail you thought they ignored. The only way forward was back to you. They saw your face in a stranger and fell to their knees. You don't know it yet, but today they made a vow. Their love isn't perfect, but it's been purified. When they touch you this time, your spirit will sigh in relief. You were the last real thing they ever felt. They abandoned love. Love didn't abandon them. They're not looking for a second chance. They're arriving to make the first one right. You were the wound they tried to forget. Now you're the only medicine. Don't fear the knock. This time, it's not destruction, it's deliverance. The person you're about to see is living proof of transformation. You cried for closure. God gave you a return. The clock ran out, but heaven overruled time for your sake. Their journey wasn't to find better. It was to understand why you were best. You stayed soft. That's why they're safe to return now. You are not their option. You are their awakening. They never replaced you. They tried. God didn't let it work. You were not erased. You were engraved on their eternity. They were warned in a dream. Love you or lose everything. You were the only one who saw their soul. That's what's bringing them back. You're not imagining the shift. Someone just changed course for you. The person arriving will ruin your disbelief in love. They didn't lose you. They lost themselves. Now they're coming home for both. Their voice cracked when they said your name aloud. That was the moment everything broke open. You were their punishment and their prayer. Now you're their prophecy fulfilled. Someone's been trained by heartbreak just to hold you better this time. You felt the silence grow louder. That was them trying to forget you and failing. They lost the world chasing illusions. They gained clarity chasing you. They walked away full. They're returning empty, but ready. You are the fire they couldn't put out, no matter how far they ran. God waited until they were emptied of pride, then pointed them back to you. You thought it was over. God said, "Watch the door." They're not just returning, they're resurrecting. You were the prophecy they forgot. Now they remember. The one who abandoned you is carrying your name, like scripture. God rewired their heart just to recognize you again. You were the silence in their storm. Now you're the voice. Someone's coming to love you the way heaven always wanted. Their absence wrote your pain. Their return will rewrite the story. They're arriving with the apology your soul deserved long ago. You thought it ended in ashes. God buried a miracle in the smoke. They couldn't forget you, even in the arms of others. You were always the ending. They just had to lose first. Their soul's been rehearsing the moment they fall to their knees. They thought they left you. God made sure they'd return undone. What you prayed for is walking toward you, breaking. You were their safe place. They're finally brave enough to admit it. They tasted every counterfeit. Nothing matched your spirit. They betrayed you once. They won't survive without you twice. Your voice is the only echo they still hear. Someone's about to speak the truth they buried for years. They've carried your name like a bruise on their chest. They will shake when they see you, and you'll know. You are their final test and only salvation. You're not ready for who's returning, but your soul is. Every delay had your name wrapped in destiny. They don't want to move on. They want to come home. The weight they carry, it's your goodbye. They hid your name in poems no one ever read. You are the ache behind their eyes. God has broken them open and placed your memory inside. Your silence was sacred. It made them seek the divine. They left chasing freedom. They're returning begging for grace. Someone asked God for a second chance. It looked like you. The love they denied now burns through every night. Their next words won't be hello. They'll be, I'm sorry. You were their peace. They're ready to make war to reach you. What they rejected now feels like holy ground. They wandered far, but only your soul has the map. The one who left is the one who will kneel. Their regret keeps writing you letters they never send. You were not forgotten. You were being carved into destiny. Someone prayed you'd wait. Heaven heard. Your name is written across their return like thunder. They broke your heart, but not your prophecy. Your absence ruined them. Your presence will resurrect them. Someone's being delivered right into your arms. They're arriving in pieces. You are the only home that fits. Their demons couldn't survive your light. They're coming, not as who they were, but as who you deserve. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. They had to lose everything just to understand your worth. You were never forgotten. You were protected. They denied your love publicly. Now they'll return weeping, privately. Every road they took away from you is collapsing behind them. Someone's coming back, carrying the apology God whispered. They couldn't breathe in your absence. They'll drown in your presence. The one you cried for in silence is being sent in thunder. You were their healing. They chose the wound. Now they choose you. They're not just coming. They're collapsing into your arms. The shock won't be who returns. It will be how broken they are. They buried your name, but it kept blooming inside them. The same lips that lied will now beg. You are the haunting they never escaped. Their arrival will split you open in glory, not grief. You were the prayer they never knew they were answering. Their regret became a map back to your name. You were the silence they swore they'd never miss. They can't undo what they did, but they're ready to kneel in it. Someone's traveling through storms that only your love can calm. You were their home. They finally packed their pride. They left for pleasure. They're returning for peace. You thought they ghosted. Truth is they got haunted. Their body is returning, but their soul never left you. The reunion was written. The separation was just the sharpening. They wept your name while holding someone else's hand. Their eyes will tell you everything their ego won't. God didn't remove them. He refined them for you. They faked peace, but your absence tortured them nightly. The person arriving is not who left. They're reborn for you. What broke you both is now binding you stronger. Their love for you aged into truth. They're ready to pour it. They're not expecting your forgiveness, but they're praying for it. They return not just to love, but to confess. The absence was loud. The arrival will be louder. They stopped running. Now they're crawling to you. You were never too much. They were too small. They let go. God didn't. Their pride died. Your name remained. Your absence revealed who they are. Your presence will remind them who you are. The wound they gave you is the reason they're returning healed. They'll be trembling when they speak, because your love still terrifies them. Their shock won't be your love. It'll be your power. God said, let them wander. They'll only bloom when they return. They'll arrive in ruins. You'll answer with resurrection. The one who hurt you is begging God for a chance to serve you. Their new name is repentance, and it carries your initials. They lied, and still, your truth is calling them back. The story isn't done. The next chapter walks in with their face. They didn't fall out of love. They ran from it. The one who broke you will walk in stunned by your beauty. You were the softest place they never deserved, until now. They're walking through fire with your name in their mouth. The silence between you was never empty. It was holy. Their spirit broke where they abandoned you. They're arriving with tears, not words. You'll know it's them, because your soul will stop trembling. They remember everything you thought they forgot. The one who shattered you is bringing the pieces back. God made sure they felt what they did to you. Their shadow carries your name. Their steps follow your echo. They collapsed without you, but the world never saw it. The lie ended the story, but love is rewriting the ending. The one you grieved is alive and searching for you. The delay wasn't distance. It was divine instruction. They're arriving not to take, but to give back. You prayed for closure. God gave you a return. They had everything except your spirit. That's why they're coming back. The one they chose over you left them empty. Their awakening has your fingerprints. You were the prophecy they never believed until now. They laughed at your love. Now they long for its mercy. You're the only peace their chaos ever knew. The detour made them dangerous to every lie they once believed. They rejected you in confusion. They'll return in clarity. They were warned, don't let this soul go. Now they know why. Their future doesn't work without you in it. The moment they see you again, time will split open. They're not seeking a second chance. They're surrendering. The one who forgot you can't forget you now. God shook their world until all that remained was your memory. This time they're not running away. They're running home. You were the sacred wound. They're returning as medicine. They are coming with nothing but your name and their tears.